Hi, my name is Rob Sweeney. I'm the author of You're Not Just a Diagnosis, Using Trauma-Informed Techniques to Create Your Best Life. And I'm talking today with Cooper J. He is the producer, director, and writer of a movie trio, starting with Nameless World. Then the one that's coming out next is Even Monsters Sleep. And look who it is.
Hello! Long time no see, guys. What's up?
Oh, not much. Just hanging here with my man Rob.
Hi,
How you
Rob.
doing, guys? Hello, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And Andrew Aardvark, big ass actor.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Andrew?
We can't hear you, Andrew. Can you all
I
hear
don't have
him?
any sound. I don't have any sound, Andrew.
Andrew decided to broadcast from a different
And
place.
secretly in the back of her head, Anna's going, "That is the best sound he's ever had. That is so cool."
His voice is terrifying. Let me tell you.
I can imagine. I've seen the previews for the movies you guys did together.
I got the part. Sorry. I always knew you could do it. I want to be a star. I can smell it.
Wow.
That's all you get.
And obviously, the first question I have for you, Anna, is: have you gotten over the nightmares? Is the therapy going well?
Therapy is going great. I've never been better. And it's been like a year, actually, like almost officially, since we wrapped. And I've been in therapy ever since, and I'm good.
Good for you. Good for you. Andrew, how are you doing?
Andrew.
We can hear you now, I think.
Yeah. He wants me to tilt the camera down. Think he wants to see my junk, Teddy. All right.
One never argues with the guy on the other side of the camera. So you want to look at that? That's all yours, man. Whatever.
I argue with him all the time. But everyone wants to see the Aardvark's junk, and we all know that's true.
I want to see that Christmas tree too.
See?
Oh my God, I love it. You have your Christmas tree up.
Yeah, it'll never come down in this house.
I met Andrew like 4 years ago, and it was still in his house up in like.
It's been up for six years. Yeah.
You just like relocate the ornaments?
Huh?
You just like switch around the ornaments?
Now, don't even do that.
So it's been Christmas for 6 years at your house.
Yeah, it's been kind of a smelly little Christmas. Yeah, starting to reek a bit, but it gives me the horror mentality, Rob, that I need to do Cooper, Mr. Nasty's shows.
You should have been on earlier. I had to ask him, what is wrong with you that you make movies like this?
It's true. That's a very good question.
How did you answer that?
He smiled. He smiled.
Every time. No, continue.
He smiled. His answer was basically, "Yeah, that's the kind of thing I do."
Yeah.
I get a lot of responses from people with that question in therapy too. It's like, "What is wrong with you?" And they all kind of smile and go, "Yeah, that's why I'm here."
Make a movie. It'll feel good.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll go with that. So Anna, I have to admit, I looked you up on the internet.
Uh-oh.
And you were listed in IMDb.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and according to that, you're actually working now. What kind of stuff are you doing now?
So I did about 5 films last year. One of them was a feature film, and 4 of them were short films. One of them was a short film / music video. And one of the films is turning into a feature film. I'm co-writing it now. And I think what you might have seen on IMDb was a series I did called Mismanage. And that is in the festival circuit right now. And it's actually going to be on a TV network. Though the name escapes me now, which is probably for the best, because I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that yet. Right. But the other thing you probably saw was something I did about 5 years back, which was a short film that was completely sung. It was like a musical film. So that was a long time ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
but more recently I've been doing just straight film, no singing. Well, aside from this one that I just did with Josh, I sing in that one. So never mind. Erase. But lots
But
of film stuff. It's been fun.
Now that brings up another question. You did the song with Josh for this one, and I saw an interview that you had done with Andrew on another internet-based channel. I'm not allowed to talk. Anyway, you mentioned that you studied classical voice.
I did.
Yes. So, what was your ambition when you went to school? Like, were you going to sing opera, or travel the world doing folk songs, or what did you have in mind?
Oh my gosh, you have. Oh my gosh, that's me.
Yes, it is.
Not this, not what you're seeing on screen. Honestly, gosh, when I went to school, I can only tell you this. I grew up watching like American Idol and things like that, and I thought I wanted to be like a pop star and a singer, and like I actually originally went to school for commercial voice, which is like studying top 40 genres, so pop, rock, R&B, country, jazz. And then I quickly switched to classical. I was kind of referred in that direction. And it was not my favorite thing, but I went along with it because I thought I was getting the training that I needed in order to really like have a music career. And I did not expect myself to be a classically trained singer or an opera singer by any stretch, but I ended up doing that for a little bit. And then musical theater kind of naturally followed after. And then pandemic hit, no live theater, no opera, nothing. So I was like, well, let's try TV and film. And now here I am.
There you go. Nice.
I was kind of open. So I feel like, life just took me where I was meant to be.
I can see that. Okay. Now, also, I learned from looking at you in IMDb and the internet that you were a top girl on a competitive cheer squad. And from what little I know of competitive cheer squads, the top girl is one of the smaller young ladies, one of the more athletic young ladies, one of the more talented young ladies, and utterly fearless because they throw her around like a sack of wheat.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's about right. Yeah. So when you started doing films with Cooper, doing these horror films with Cooper, did you have to tap into that to kind of do these really intense scenes, or was it just easy? Because they threw me around like a sack of wheat. I can lay here and pretend that you're eating me like a piece of hamburger.
Yeah, you kind of have to just like black out a little bit and be like, and like just and just let your body, like, just trust your body and that it's gonna do what you need it to do for the moment, and trust that the people around you that you're working with are gonna catch you. So kind of in transferring that to the film with Josh, I kind of just, especially in some of the scenes where I had to be a little bit more demonic, I was really tapping into just like, and I was like throwing my body around, and I was just kind of trusting that Josh was getting it all on camera and that I wasn't hurting Andrew too much.
Andrew, did you suffer a lot of pain in those scenes?
It was glorious. It was glorious.
No, you were like, Anna, you were hurting me. I'm like, sorry.
And that was a real garbage bag over your head.
I was hoping she finished the deal. I really was. So Josh was like, well, if she kills him, that'll make a great film.
That's a whole different kind of film that has a different market altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, what was your background? I know you're a comedian, and I know you've been doing podcasting, and you've actually been in the business, in the business for a while now. What was your past? What was your background before you got into acting and comedy and all that?
Yeah. Running from the police, I guess. It was a pretty checkered past, Rob.
Really?
Yeah.
That would explain the choices you've made in some of the films, right?
Yeah,
it's like going home.
It's like going home.
Yeah. Now, did you study acting and film?
I studied acting 30 years ago, and my teacher said I kind of sucked, that I should get into stand-up comedy. which I did. So
Damn
and
good.
Yeah.
then I got into acting somehow. So I don't know how the hell that happened.
Well, given the film that you were doing just now, it's the impression I get, it was just sort of something fun for you to do, right?
No, it wasn't fun. Are you crazy? Oh shit, that was an emotional friggin' wow. I was having
Yeah.
bad dreams. I don't know if Anna was, but I was actually having bad dreams a few days after the shit. So yeah.
Now, Andrew, are you normally, do you like horror films normally? Like, is that the kind of film that you would normally look for to watch?
As a kid, I got into a fist fight with my cousin because of a horror film. He wanted to watch the Yankee game, and I wanted to watch something called Creature Features. Now I'm dating myself from years ago.
I
So
remember the creature features.
yeah, I punched him in the nose. I won, and we watched Creature Features. But then I started getting really scared of them and getting weird. So yeah,
So now you've acted in a couple, and you're having
yeah.
nightmares.
I just had a few nights. Yeah, I did have a few scary
So
dreams there. Yeah.
yeah. Anna, did you
Because you
go ahead,
devote
Andrew?
yourself, your energy, your emotion into these films.
Mhm.
Acting doesn't mean you're pretending. Acting actually means you're taking a piece of your insides that match the role you're playing and the element of the script, what is going on. It's
Okay.
not pretending at all, let me tell you. So you're going to be affected in ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the things when I was talking to Josh, we pointed out was in the first one, in the Nameless World, the impression I got was that your character felt that this young lady was actually causing you to have nightmares about being a monster,
Yeah.
and that she was having nightmares of being a victim, and that it was kind of her fault that you were acting like a monster. Did you,
Whoa.
like, when you went home, did you feel like they've made a monster out of me?
Yeah, I immediately when I got home, I punched my wife in the mouth. So that was good. No, I'm not even married. But I did kick the dog. So there was that.
I guessed that you were not married by the fact the Christmas tree hasn't been taken down in 6 years.
No,
I don't know any wives that would have put up with that.
yeah, not many.
Yeah, not many. Not
I
many.
do try to in the second film give each of the characters like a chance at being the monster and getting back. And I hope that in some way, like there's a very traumatic scene with Anna after Papa Cherry inflicts pain on her. And there's another scene where she hopefully can take that trauma and put it into a violent act of revenge, and hopefully release that demon and that pain inside her. And then Papa Cherry may be the victim for that scene. So yeah.
Okay, so there's a bit of turnaround.
There's so many layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that Josh was saying earlier, that was his goal, was to make these very layered structures in the film, and in both of the films, that there was more to it than you just get in a single watch. So it's something you can come back to more than once. Did that, and when you went through the trauma of being as a character, going through the trauma of being abused, and then the vengeance, did it feel just as bad to be vengeful as it was to be a victim? Like, did it hit you just as hard?
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely feel like it hit just as hard. And even Josh, whenever, because we had the trauma scene first, we shot that first, and then the revenge scene last or second. It wasn't last, but it was next. And I remember Josh's note. It was even, I want you to take that pain that you felt when we shot that other scene, and I want you to put it in this moment. And I remember that, and it was like, that was so powerful. I really did feel like I was channeling the moment of shooting that other scene of the trauma that I experienced in that other scene, in the scene where I got revenge. And it felt very much like the same pain was coming out, whether it was being inflicted on me or that I was inflicting on someone else. It came from the same place.
Okay. And Josh, did you feel like there was some of your personal experience going through this? Like you were seeing something vindicated or renewed, expressed from your past?
I wouldn't say my past, but I feel like I do empathize very strongly with people. And like when I did read those articles of like Harvey Weinstein just like raping women for decades, like that's probably so many women, so many lost names that like I really did feel for them. And I didn't have to feel for them as deeply as Anna or Delilah did when she got into character. But she really ran with that, and maybe ask her that same question. I'm not sure. But for me, it was really just feeling for other people.
Yeah. Anna, did it get personal for you? I mean, I know you're being an actress and you're being aware of the camera and the lights and there's other people in the room, but did it become personal for you when you were doing the event?
It did a bit, and at the same time, because it was personal, there's a bit of a dissociation that comes with that. So
Mhm.
it was personal, and also it felt like I was detached from it at the same time. But I think that detachment was because it was personal, and even the detachment was personal because that is what happens in moments like that. And that's how you emotionally survive moments like that.
Mhm.
And thankfully, Josh is like a like he deserves a medal for how well he treated me for this whole project, because he let me bring a friend during those scenes, and so I was able to lean on somebody emotionally, um and that was, I mean, that really helped. So
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
And one of the
Go
craziest
ahead.
to that real quick is the friend that she brought after seeing their chemistry. I realized it was so natural and beautiful that that's her friend in the film is actually started as her friend in the
Okay.
real world on set helping her.
That's great.
yeah.
That's great. And I did see that in the previews that we saw, there was a chemistry between the two of them. They acted like they had been friends a long time. So that was great. Good that you could take advantage of that. Yeah. Andrew, how did you feel like personally? Like you're the person behind the mask. You're acting like this monster and abusing this girl. You're the monster who's being revenged upon, but that's not who you are. How did you deal with that dissociation? How did you deal with that kind of feeling where you're going through this?
When I was the victim?
Yeah, when you were doing this movie, right? Anna's a
Yeah.
friend of yours, right?
Well, yeah,
Off
we'll
screen,
see about
off
that.
screen. Yeah.
Wait till after the third movie.
Yeah, but she's a friend of yours off screen. On screen, you're first of all you're doing terrible things to her. Then there's a vengeance. She's doing terrible things to you. We had this whole film that's put together so you can't tell if it's real or hallucination, imaginary dream. That's what we're seeing on film. How did you like dissociate yourself or connect yourself to that experience as you rather
Well,
than as the character?
well, this is when we get into the pretend part of the Hollywood game. Anna knows I don't want to stab her in the throat or rape her. She probably knows that in real life. So I think Anna
I like
is
the way you qualified that. That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's a smart enough woman that she would know. Probably, not. So.
So
I
that's the
actually
trust
think
we were
Anna
talking about
was
at the beginning.
more rough with Andrew than Andrew was
She was
with Anna.
great. She was fucking great. Oh, sorry.
His little
She's
side
great.
comments explain a lot about why he's into horror movies. We can see that.
Yeah.
Andrew,
She
how's
was
your
great.
therapy going?
It's going pretty good. I'm
Is
glad
it?
you asked, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna take this week off though to rest a little.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it's been getting intense recently.
Yeah, it's really been. It's been crazy.
But I'm bummed. Wow. That's what we needed is more puns. Josh, just from a business point of view, where'd you find these guys? Did you put a poster up on the wall?
Andrew, for that Christmas trailer I mentioned earlier, I just put out
Claws.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good.
There you go.
Casting call out to the depths of the internet, looking for someone creepy. And Andrew emailed me saying some people think I'm creepy. with his face, and I was like, immediately knew this man was the real deal.
There you go. There you go.
And we
Anna,
met at a coffee shop, and the rest was history.
Anna, how'd you get roped into this?
I met Andrew at one of the many auditions. I think it was just like, another something, and we just kind of got to chatting. It was kind of like a small talk situation, and clicked, and he referred me to Josh, and
Okay,
here we are.
cool.
Yeah. So she was actually hitting on me at that last audition because I'm so hot. So
Andrew, we
well,
agreed
obviously.
not to mention that part.
I'm
was
sorry.
A friendship
Sorry.
contract.
I'm sorry.
And I was really only looking for a date on the internet, not some actor.
I can see the chemistry between you two guys, and obviously, Andrew, it's I'm overwhelmed, so I can see how Anna would be. So that, it's clear, it's obvious. Yeah,
He just has a way.
he does. It's that animal magnetism. That's why he has to keep leaning away from the camera, because I keep getting closer.
I do too. I'm like,
it draws me in. That's what it is.
Animal magnetism, a length of rope, and a nice wad of duct tape. I got it.
All you need is a beer to make it a perfect night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
Now, you guys, my understanding is that Josh is going to be doing a third film in this series.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
see the eyes in Anna's face, like, what?
What?
After what I did to him, there's
Let's
another
go.
one.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear about this.
Well, my question was, if you guys had some influence on it, what would you want him to put into that third story? How would you want him to expand out on what Papa Cherry has done or been through, or what we've experienced watching him? Anna, what do you think?
I thought this was a question for Josh. I didn't.
No, it's for the two. It was for the two of you. I was kind of hoping he would
I
listen.
would love to hear yours.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what the two of you had. Yeah, what would you want him to put into the next film? After what you had been through with Papa Cherry in this one, what do you want to see in the next one?
So Papa Cherry's he's the through line, right?
Right. Ideally, I mean, unless Andrew comes up and says, "Yeah, I want him to be gone because I'm tired of this."
Maybe Papa Jerry confronts the devil, like really, like Hades himself. But maybe Hades ends up being a woman.
That'd be so hot. That'd be hot. That'd be so hot. Yeah.
And maybe there's a whole like power struggle, because Papa Cherry is like, he's king of our world, the king of the underworld of our world, but now he's in the real underworld and he's dealing with the devil, and now there's this huge power struggle, and they got to duke it out to see who's going to be the real monster.
Holy shit, that's pretty freaking good.
That's gotta be like the sixth installment.
Holy shit.
And Delilah as actually one of his little like minions, be like, okay, now you're here, I'm going to take you to the boss.
Wow.
And and I'm just a minion. I'm not like a main character or anything. I'm just like facilitating the battle after that.
So you kind of stand to the side and let them duke it out. So you're not going to get into the middle of this anymore. You've had enough of the trauma. You've had enough of the. I'm just going to watch. This will be great.
Just like wringing my hands in the background, like.
That's such a shame. I wanted to see how you would hold a knife to my throat again.
I mean, maybe Hades will ask for help. I'll gladly assist.
She just said that you're supposed to go to hell. I don't know how much more you need a knife to your throat than that. That was pretty harsh. Andrew, is there anything you'd want to see in the next film that you'd really like to see as an element that he puts in?
Yeah, Papa Cherry gets a pension. Yeah. He's in a wheelchair. Yeah. I didn't know it. I'm going to get you. Ow!
So I haven't really thought of it, but the one idea in my head is Delilah's pregnant.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
Ooh. Oh, that's
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We forgot that angle.
You are twisted.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Nice.
Josh, what is wrong with you?
Dang, That's
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
two would not be done with each other quite yet.
And that opens up a whole other can
Yeah.
of worms, too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's a lot more to deal with that.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Still got a long way to go, but
Mm. My mind just blew.
Yeah.
Go you.
While your mind is blown thinking about how horrible that would be to go through. You were saying earlier, Anna, that there's kind of an element of dissociation that an actor has to do, right? They have to remember their lines and they have to say their lines like it's them. They have to remember their blocking and they have to move like it's natural. So that's a natural dissociation you sort of train yourself into. But you were talking about how that's a survival technique for trauma. What else did you have to do to sort of survive the trauma of having gone through this? Because this harkened back to real experiences for you, right? You brought out real pain, whether it was traumatic or not. There was pain that you were demonstrating in the movie. You brought some of that from your past. So what did you do to help kind of survive after you got off set? Like go cry in a corner with your friend, or knock down that bottle of beer that Andrew's been hiding, or
Yeah. Yes. No, not man, even you asking that, like my body like gets really warm, and like I feel like kind of like something's grabbing my heart and like kind of holding it. It's just even just being asked
Wow.
and like thinking about it can be really hard to qualify.
Do you want to take a minute and do some 4-square breathing, and I'll ask Andrew the same question?
Yeah, actually, it'd be great. Thank you.
Andrew, having gone through that, like you were saying, that there's that pretend part of acting, but there's also that personal experience. How did you sort of diffuse after you got off the set? Like you said, you had nightmares. How did you deal with that?
Personal experience are we talking about, Rob? You know nothing about me.
What I know is that you were on film. It looked like you were both abusing and being abused in the course of 2 very intense films.
Yeah.
And you told me that as an actor, you bring up experience from the past to show that pain and show that experience. So I'm not asking what you went through as a kid. I don't want to know about, how horrible your dad was. After you were done, what I want to know is when you were done filming that day, you had to go home and like be a person at the end of the film.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with those experiences at the end of the day? To just
I told
be a person
you. I told you I take it out on others. The pain I'm feeling. I told you that, didn't I?
You said you kicked the dog, and he told me you were mean to an imaginary wife. So you go home and you imagine beating up on your wife. That's
yeah. I'm a very complicated dude.
I can tell.
But,
I can tell.
No, you just get over whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, I was. You got more to say?
Not really. Go ahead.
Next person.
I'm a pretty shallow dude, so
Is that what it was?
As I got to observe both of you in vulnerable states, and I mean, we all had such a great time on set. Like it was just so fun, and even like the intense moments were intense, but we were laughing soon after that. When we did some of the intense scenes with Anna and tried filming more after, like she was still shook, and we ended up not using those scenes because when she had to perform, she performed like no other, but she was exhausted after that, I think mentally and physically. And after that same shoot, Andrew made me buy him a big lunch. So I think
That was the big thing, food. I got to get some food in me, and I probably slept for like 12 to 15 hours. And beyond that, just letting feelings come up as they come up and like being honest about them when I'm with somebody, especially if it's somebody I trust. If it's not somebody I feel like oversharing or sharing with, I'll just say, I'm just not feeling great today. And I feel like I have a really I also feel like I have a lot of really great pillars in my life that help me get out of myself. Like I teach music, and my students are just so fun, and so sometimes it just helps me switch my mood really quick. So
Yeah,
things like that, like
I just
Andrew was
want
saying,
to.
just help you get over it.
Sure.
I just want to make a point, Rob,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
me and Josh both asked Anna if she was comfortable in a certain scene before we shot the scene. So
Sure.
we're not forcing her or pressing her like some directors do that shit though.
Yes,
I'm
I've
not
heard
kidding.
stories. No. What is it, The Shining, where they literally drove her insane by being so cruel to her, and then they thought that made for a greater movie, and everyone else on Earth is like, no, that's just being an asshole.
Mhm.
So
Because we know this may kick up some traumatic shit, Rob,
yeah.
that may have happened to us in our past. It may kick up some stuff. So we want to make it as easiest as possible. After we finished, I would call Anna and say, "Are you okay?" And we
Hmm.
chat like that, because we're friends,
Yeah.
and that's the way to be. That you got to care more about the people than the film itself.
Okay.
I know Josh, that's a little difficult, but I'm trying to get him there, but he's doing much. I'm just kidding. He's really good with that. He's very sensitive to the
Hmm.
actors. The actors like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Like Anna was upset with a certain scene. She said, nah. And Josh was like, okay, okay, and that was
Right.
it. That was it. But there was
Yeah.
no fucking arguments, no nothing.
From the very beginning, like from when I read the script to like post, like,
Hmm.
I mean, though in post, Josh is like, this is pretty much what it's going to be. But I was like, but after that, like, before that, I mean, it was from just reading the script to the song, even to, the scenes and what went in it. And,
Hmm.
having my friend come on set and everything. Like, Josh was always so unbelievably supportive and kind. And Andrew, even on set, Andrew was just like, I'm just like, are you okay? I'm just checking in. Like, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Like, do you need a second? Like, everyone was just so, so kind. They gave me a lot of time if I needed it. And it was like, they cared about, I felt like I felt really taken care of, but I also felt like because of that, the project was really well taken care of.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
it
Okay.
allowed for everybody to do their job
Yeah.
and contribute to this project in the best way everybody possibly could have.
Now we got a question from a viewer, Shart of the Beast, who asks for Josh, was it hard to do the editing when you're trying to be careful about cutting in the scenes best for the story and being sensitive to Anna's feelings at the same time?
Yeah, I think he may have, or she, or they, may
Yeah,
have
that person.
me. Sorry, Shard of the Beast. But I was saying that I used all the scenes where Anna was overwhelmed, but when we filmed the next scene of the day, she was just exhausted, and we ended up reshooting that scene at a later date, and it made the film. But I used all the scenes where she was overwhelmed. On camera, the more overwhelmed she was, the more heart-wrenching it is. So I kept all those scenes for sure.
Anna,
Hard to miss them.
does that make you feel some kind of way to hear him talk that way?
Does it what?
Does it make you feel some kind of way, is the phrase I get from my kids, that he said basically he used you like a tool and he built something really cool with that?
Oh, shit.
Well, it doesn't make me feel some type of way because I went into this consensually. I consented to this project.
Ouch.
And like I said throughout, I felt really taken care of. And I feel like
Okay.
even though there's like this was a very graphic movie, it's an important message and something that I honestly felt honored to be a part of. So no, I don't feel any negative way hearing Josh say things like that.
One
Do you
quick
feel like?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even though I did probably talk about it fairly insensitive, wouldn't you have been somewhat hurt if you went to those dark places in your mind and it didn't end up on the film? Like, I feel like that needs to be seen. Like that took some shit to get there. And I mean, I felt the pressure even editing it to like really have, I mean, you definitely went to some dark places, and to make sure that came through and the impact was there was definitely something I took to heart.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. It would have been like all for naught if it hadn't been used. And I've been like, why did I go there then? Like,
Exactly.
it was just like, not then I would have felt like, oh, he's just like masturbating to my pain, and like he didn't even use it.
No, that was me, Anna. That was me.
Oh, right.
See, that was that movie you haven't been allowed to see. That's a whole different thing.
Oh, gotcha.
But all of this brings up what this represents to me from what we spoke about earlier is the fact that you did the competitive cheer where you were the top girl. And like I said, you were thrown like a sack of wheat. And your response is you have to trust your team. They have to be on your side, even though you know you're taking the risks. They've got to be there with you. Did you feel after you had done this movie that you were closer to these guys and you could trust them better because of what you had done?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel I have like, I don't know, my heart. It's like not a feeling you can put into words. It's a heart feeling, you know? That's how I feel about these guys. For sure. I feel closer to them.
So when Josh asks you to come back for the third movie as the devil, you have no problem. You'll be there.
100%. Yes, anytime. I love making art with Josh and Andrew. And I wouldn't even be in this movie were it weren't for Andrew. Andrew's brilliant. Listen,
I got the impression you guys really enjoyed doing this just from the previews, the little bit that I saw. Now, just to let you guys know, all I saw was Nameless World, 5 minutes, and the 2 teasers for Even Monsters Sleep. So I haven't been allowed to see the whole movie yet. I am not in the top echelon of clearances yet, but eventually I'm going to watch the whole thing. But what I did get from what I saw was that you guys really enjoyed doing this. This was kind of fun. What's the message you were hoping to get out there by doing this together, by making this movie?
The message is entertainment and scaring the fuck out of people. There's no message.
Wow.
Look at Anna.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that. She needs a message. She doesn't like that.
She just gave me a whole speech about how important it was that the message get out there. And you said, yeah, there's no message.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I love Andrew.
She was scared. That was the point. I'm a happy guy. Yeah.
It was scary. That shit was scary as, but let me tell you, Rob, when you're making these kind of movies, a power surges through you.
Okay.
To be able to use your emotions to 100 degree to excellence, there's a power that streams through you to be able to do that on film in front of, I don't know, 10 or 12 people that are going to watch it. But no, maybe a larger audience. But just acting with Anna, there's a power, I mean, when she had the knife in her hand at my throat, is she really going to use it? You're going moment to moment, Rob, as an actor. You're going moment to moment. And at one point when she had the knife to my throat, I thought, is she going to actually do it? Interesting. Now I'm 100 times even scareder. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, baby.
Wow, Anna. Now I'm scared. Holy heck.
Yeah.
Am I frozen here? I'm seeing my face hasn't moved in a while.
No?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
No, you're moving here. Can you see the preview? We've got the preview playing. For the
okay,
teaser.
cool. I wasn't sure. I was like, hello. I lost track of the question. I'm sorry. I was distracted by the image, like by the preview too. I was like, whoa.
That's an intense movie. Who did that? Oh my God.
What was the question? I apologize.
That's okay. We've changed the subject about 3 times since the question that you didn't answer. If you've had time to recover, the question is, now I've forgotten.
Glad we can all be in this together.
Yeah, it's one of those experiences.
Mm,
The question I wanted to ask you was, what do you do for fun that kind of takes you away from these things? Other than you teach piano
mhm.
and you dance, what else? What else? What are the kinds of things do you do to deal with those traumatic feelings and the trauma that you've had in the past? Just kind of gets you into a good place.
I meditate and every day. I journal every day. I move my body in some way every day, whether it's like yoga or exercise, some other higher intensity exercise or dance. I like to go walk in nature. Oh my gosh, sometimes I'll just roll a blanket out and I will just lay in the grass for like a
Hmm.
half hour.
Okay.
I do go to therapy. Highly recommend. I love my therapist. We've been seeing each other for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and I always have to make sure there's food in my kitchen. There's something like
Hmm.
so for somebody who's dealt with trauma, if you're like in emotional fight or flight or survival mode, there's something about seeing food there that makes you like that makes me register I'm safe. I'm well
Right.
fed. I'm gonna survive this situation, kind of thing.
Hmm.
I would say there are many tools in my toolkit, but I would say that those are the biggest things that have helped me kind of go, get through things that are difficult.
Okay. Josh, one of the things that we talk about when we talk about trauma-informed care, and one of the things I've been asked to do is talk to businesses about being more trauma sensitive in business, like at work. One of the things that we tell people is be more um, tuned to the idea of just safety, like this is going to be a safe workplace. And one of the things that Andrew said was that you ask before Anna had to do these really intense scenes, are you ready? Can you do it? Do we need to do something different? Was that purposeful to make sure for a safe background, or were you looking for something else in that moment? Like, was that part of the plan? Was I know this is going to be traumatizing, I'm going to make it safe for you?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be traumatizing and make it safe, 100%.
Okay.
I mean, Anna's well-being is way higher than this film.
What about my well-being? She had the knife to my friggin' throat.
See, I saw that coming. I absolutely saw that coming when I heard him say it.
Andrew told me he had 6 months to live, so I definitely was more lenient with
That was also traumatizing.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew, what do you do other than the food? When you said there's a power in acting on film, do you
Yeah.
get that same sense of power when you're on stage doing the comedy, or is that a whole different experience?
No, I get that too, but with film, you get a response later on or down the road. With stand-up comedy, you get the response right there. So actually, your power could be sucked out if nobody's laughing or something.
Mhm.
So, that could really go either way. Theater's the power there too, but just getting in your role and immersing yourself in your role, like what I said, having the thought for that moment, that second in time, maybe Anna will actually slit my throat at this moment. Now I'm really friggin' scared. There's a little
You
trick
never know.
to you actors. Yeah, because look, she looks kind of friggin' nutty. So
Wow. That's the chemistry between you two. It's amazing.
Or
Andrew,
that what was that? That fish hook? That was really sharp too.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that, but even though I was very like cautious of everyone feeling mentally okay, I totally
Mhm.
looked past that I had real knives and butcher hooks on set.
were they
And
real?
Ooh.
yeah, they were real and did not give anyone proper warning.
Yeah.
There were a few close calls, and
Ooh.
I really just wake up every day grateful that nothing happened.
Grateful that the fish hook didn't pull my eye out. Is that what you're saying?
Literally, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
That-
I'm grateful your name isn't Alec Baldwin. All right.
ouch.
no. I mean, it could have happened.
Yeah.
But I thank every single minute that it didn't. And if I make another film, it will definitely be much more attention to these dangerous objects.
Well, yeah, well, and that's one of the things when I was talking about trauma-informed care in business, one of the things we talk about is that transparency, that you don't hold stuff back. Were you purposefully not telling them these were dangerous things on set, or you
No,
figured they could figure it out by touching it? They knew.
We know.
Yeah, they all pointed it out. They were like, "Oh, this is real." I was like, "Oh shit!" But yeah, I mean, I was getting shit on Amazon. I was like, "Butcher hook sounds scary." I'll get some and that was really the extent.
No, that
I
works.
About it. So
Okay.
I mean, I also had a lot to think about with making the film.
Well, yeah, you had a lot going on.
It was
Directing, producing, logistics, all this stuff happening. That's a lot to take on for the first film project.
Right, but listen to this, Rob. Would I have had the same reaction if the knife she was holding to my throat was not real? No.
Maybe. The question is, what did you tell yourself about that knife when it was up to your throat?
That she may stab me.
Right. And if you can convince yourself that that's possible, whether it was a real knife or not, you would have had the same reaction. That's the problem with trauma.
I'm not that good an actor, Rob. No,
but that's
it's a fake knife. It's a fake knife. Come on, baby.
Yeah. No, but if you believe you could be hurt by it, you can have the same reaction. Yeah. No. Yeah, because it's not the problem with trauma, and the problem with the brain is that it's not about what's real, it's about what you believe.
Yeah, but we're acting now.
It's less about what. Yeah, but that's the problem with actors. That's why so many of you go insane, because you spend all your time believing, not believing. Is it real? Is it not real? Your body doesn't know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, your brain is an organ inside a box with no windows, listening to the rest of your body tell it what may or may not be real. And it makes 90% up of what it knows from scratch.
Right, but that doesn't take place here because we know the knife is real rather than it being unreal.
Right, but that's a shortcut. You knew it was real. You knew there was danger. You could say to yourself, yeah, it's dangerous. If she were to slit my throat, oh my God, she might slit my throat. It's dangerous. I'm scared.
Right. My body's not going to tell me it's not real or real. I know it is real.
Right, but
trauma does not exist in this moment. Reality exists in this moment.
Truly, but the traumatic experience would have been if your body had experienced the coldness of something metal against your throat, and your brain said, oh my God, that's a knife, or that's dangerous, or it reminds me of the time I had a knife, or it reminds me of the time when I was cold and someone did this thing to me. So, because like I said, the brain is inside the box. It has no idea what's going on in the real world, right? So that could have been just as bad for you with a fake knife as a real knife. The question is, what do you do to yourself? Do you say, this is dangerous, that makes it easy for me to look scared? Or do you say, the way to look scared is to open my eyes and open my mouth, and that's good enough, and you move from there, right? There's two ways to be an actor. One is to
but
the
look brain like is,
and the other is to be the thing.
I totally disagree with you.
Well, that's okay. You can disagree with that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I like a couple of the points.
Okay.
I like the point that it could be traumatic if I do not know whether it's real or unreal. Then it could be traumatic. But and it could also be, I'm a logical person basically. So if I know it is unreal, it's not going to hurt me. So I'm not going to have a traumatic episode
unless you believe it's real.
Why would I believe it's real if I know it's fake and I'm going like this with it?
Because you're trying to be the world's best actor. Right? You're in the moment. You want to look good for the screen. You're being the world's best actor. You can convince yourself to believe anything. And if you've got an incentive to believe in that moment, you could believe something pretty horrible, truly or not.
Yeah. I think that's like the method acting technique that you're talking about, where people like conjure experiences that really happen to them so that they are believable in the moment whenever it happens on a set. And it could be re-traumatizing because you're conjuring up that real trauma, and the brain doesn't know the difference between that trauma that happened and what's happening on set, which isn't real. So I get what you're saying. I think, and you're right. There have been actors that have gone completely off their horse because of method of acting in that way.
Yeah, the clinical term is bug nuts. They went completely bug nuts.
Bug nuts. I'll remember that. for next time.
It's a clinical term. Your therapist will remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up to her tomorrow when I have therapy.
So Andrew, all this brings up another question that related to you specifically, though. You told these guys that you had 6 months to live. Did you actually have some sort of physical issue to
I
worry
didn't
about?
tell them I had 6 months to live.
That's what I heard them say you said.
No, I didn't say.
No?
Did I say
Okay.
that to you, Josh?
You had some doctor's appointments.
That's not the same thing.
Well, I had
Literally, we have questions from Shard of the Beast asking, "Did you have a tumor? Are you okay?"
I had prostate cancer. Yeah.
Okay, and you had to deal with that during the filming.
Yeah. I thought Anna was a doctor and she was going to cut the tumors out with the big fish hook that Josh nicely lent her. Yeah.
More dreaming. Okay.
I did have a nursing coat in one
She
scene.
did. She had a nursing coat on.
Ooh,
that was hot. Yeah.
So, yeah, not that kind of movie.
Okay.
I'm being traumatized right now.
Yeah, well, I've been working at it pretty hard. Yeah. Yeah. Normally I would say you're being therapeuted, but I've been going a different direction with it completely. So,
But do you think, let me ask you, I'm sorry.
Ask me anything you want, Andrew. I'm an open book for you, man.
Now, the short of the beast or whatever, do you think somebody could actually go insane or lose grip with reality doing a horror film or something of such magnitude? Could that happen?
Absolutely.
Didn't Heath Ledger die after he played the Joker?
No, he died from drugs, but...
yeah, but the question is, why was he taking so many drugs at that moment?
Why? I don't know the answer.
Neither do we, but it's entirely possible that it was from the experience of having done the movie.
Possible.
That is a...
So how do you stop that from happening?
You take care of yourself in the way that any kind of a trauma victim or person who deals with trauma victims has to take care of themselves.
Yes.
Like, Josh, I didn't ask you, when you were done filming this extremely intense scene with these guys, and you still have all the logistics going on, how did you deal with having witnessed that? How did you get over that?
I was just relieved that everyone seemed okay, and everyone did a hell of a job. I really just I never know how filming is going to go. And I was just relieved.
So you concentrated on the logistics of what happened rather than the story the two of them told.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of a point that I mentioned, that I can empathize and I'm good at creating stories and characters, but I'm not great at totally becoming that character. And that Anna and I have had a lot of conversations about that. And she is incredible at making that character and building that into herself. And that's what I needed someone to do. That's what the film needed. But it's hard for me to get as deep as Anna went with that acting.
Yeah, she was great. She was.
I don't think many people can go there.
No.
No, that's real talent. I agree with that. And it's one of those things
that's fearless. That's fearless.
That's that fearlessness. That's that top girl in the cheer squad saying, I can go to the top of that pyramid, and if I fall, you'll catch me. I'll trust you. And it's great that you could bring that to the scene. But at the same time, you're the one that's going to suffer the pain if he drops you on your ankle.
Yeah.
And
then
you have to kind of be prepared for that.
Again.
Yeah.
You do. Mm-hmm. And you get back up and try it again because you love it.
Right. And exactly like that, Andrew, when you go through experiences that are that hard hitting, eventually the ankle doesn't heal. Eventually you break it often enough, you're done. And you're done with being a cheerleader. Well, the same happens to actors. There are times when they have to walk away because it does drive them insane. There's only so much re-experiencing that pain for someone else's benefit you can do until it really doesn't leave. And you have to do other things. You have to have other outlets. You have to, how many actors are now farmers? How many actors paint? You need other outlets. And that's
farmers?
During a really significant off periods, I actually like to go and volunteer to work on farms. I love it. It's so therapeutic.
Yeah, get your hands in the dirt, play with animals. Yeah, it's all that
Do
kind
you
of stuff.
see my apartment with these plants?
Yeah,
Wow, that's some scary
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You need that. That's part of what it takes to feel like you're
Yeah.
connected to the earth in a way you can feel healed.
I like to
Well,
play
listen-
with the Christmas tree.
And I would too. That's a really cool Christmas tree. I'm with you. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up. I'm getting signals from off screen here that I have to finish. It's been a real pleasure talking with all three of you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Rob.
much.
And for anybody who's watching, these folks are dealing with Papa Cherry is the main character of a movie trio, starting with Nameless World. Then the one that's coming out next is Even Monsters Sleep, and we will hear the title of the third one when it is ready. Anna, Cooper J, and Andrew, thank you very much. I really appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, man.
Thanks
Take
so much,
care.
Rob, for having us.
Oh, it was
All right.
fun.
Let
Maybe
me
we'll
call
do it
my-
again.
I'm going to call my therapist now. All right.
I have time on Thursday afternoon if you need.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Brilliant.
see.